Today I'd like to discuss the 2022 Senate elections and my predictions for each of the races. So I'll start with the safe seats for each party, and we can start with Alaska, represented by Lisa Murkowski. This is going to go to the Republicans. Alaska is a Republican stronghold and has been for quite some time now. Next, we can go to Arkansas with John Boozman, also a Republican. And now Idaho with Mike Crapo, and I'll just do all the Republican safe seats first, and then the Democrat, so they don't have to keep switching the colors. Next, we can go to Indiana, represented by Todd Young. That's a safe seat as well. Iowa, represented by Chuck Grassley. Now, Iowa is thought of now as more of a toss-up state, but I think Chuck Grassley, he's the incumbent, and Iowa's still a Republican state. He's likely to win re-election there. Next, in Kansas with Jerry Moran, he's likely to win. Kentucky with Rand Paul. Louisiana with John Kennedy. Missouri with Roy Blunt. North Dakota with John Hoeven. Oklahoma with James Lankford. South Carolina with Tim Scott. South Dakota with John Thune, who Donald Trump has threatened a primary, so it could be that John Thune is taken out of the running by a primary candidate, but it's likely the Republican would win there in any case. Next, Utah with Michael Lee. Now we'll go to the Democrats. So the first Democrat who is safe in re-election is Alex Padilla. He took Kamala Harris's seat after she resigned to be the vice president to Joe Biden. Next, Colorado with Michael Bennet. That's a safe seat. Colorado, once a Republican stronghold, it's now very much the other way around. Next, with Richard Blumenthal in Connecticut. And then you have Brian Schatz in Hawaii, Tammy Duckworth in Illinois, Chris Van Hollen in Maryland, Chuck Schumer in New York, the Senate Majority Leader, Ron Wyden in Oregon, Vermont has Patrick Leahy, and Washington has Patty Murray. Okay, so the rest of these seats are all toss-ups, or mostly toss-up. So I'll start with I'll go in alphabetical order. So Alabama is currently represented by Richard Shelby, who is not running for re-election. So this is the only reason I have it as a toss-up. I'm going to say whoever the Republicans have running is likely to win there. It's very much still a Republican stronghold. Next, Florida with Marco Rubio. He is likely to win. Florida is one of the few states actually shifting more to the right with the 2020 presidential election. We saw that. And next, Georgia. This map hasn't updated, so this is John Ossoff's seat. He is safe. He has to run again in 2026, not in the next election. And so we'll do Raphael Warnock here. And he is likely to win. Georgia, still a conservative state, even though Joe Biden won in 2020, and both John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock won the Senate seats there. I'm going to say it's more of a toss-up, but Raphael Warnock has the leg up in that one. Next, Nevada with Catherine Cortez Masto. She is likely to win, but if the Republicans put up a good candidate, it could be that she loses. Her last election in 2016 was very close. Next, New Hampshire with Maggie Hassan. She won her last election by 0.1%, and if the Republicans put a decent candidate up, I'm sure they could win that seat, but we'll just have to see. That's more of a toss-up. Maggie Hassan is not as strong as her New Hampshire Senate counterpart, Jaheen Shaheen, and so she has a toss-up seat there. North Carolina with Richard Burr. Richard Burr is not running for re-election, so it's likely to be Republican, but who knows? Tom Tillis barely won there this year, or last year, I mean, so it could go either way. Next, Rob Portman in Ohio. He's not running for re-election either, but that's likely a Republican seat. Pennsylvania with Patrick Toomey. This really could go either way, so I'll leave that as gray for now, because if the Democrats put up a good candidate, they could surely win. If the Republicans do, they can win. So we'll just have to wait and see how that one goes. Next, Wisconsin with Ron Johnson. He's not running for re-election either, but I'm going to say that's leaning Republican likely, because the midterms usually help the party who does not hold a presidency, and that would be the Republicans, but I'll leave that gray as well for now. And finally, Arizona, represented by Mark Kelly. This was a switch from last year. The Democrats won Senate seats in Arizona for the first time in a long time, and Joe Biden won the national election there as well. So I'm going to say this leans Democrat, but it really could go either way. And the reason Mark Kelly has to run again is because he won a special election in 2020. Okay, so Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, since they do have Republican incumbents who are not running for re-election, I'll say they both lean Republican slightly, but it really could go either way there. And yeah, this is my 2022 Senate election predictions.